Well, like you can see, this is obviously like touched a nerve. We actually need to start talking about it. How can I use this positively to impact everyone else around me? So sad that I've been keeping up tabs with Tesco's ice prices, which is utterly absurd.
See you later, well done lad. I appreciate it.
It's not the end, not yet.
Good, thank you. Tell them the studio.
Theo, take your hood off so we can see the face. You've been gone for how long?
Nearly 2 years.
Nearly 2 years. So take your hood down so we can see that beautiful face. See you later, well done lad.
I appreciate it, mate, thanks.
Theo, by our calculations, it's 662 days since your last first team appearance. Package them up into how you're feeling now.
Relieved, yeah, grateful for the opportunity to obviously play again, and yeah, I'm quite proud of myself as well, to be fair. It's been quite a rough road. 600, I didn't realise how many days it was, but yeah, 662 is quite a lot. It kind of feels like it's flown by, to be fair, which is a good but also quite depressing thought. But yeah, I mean, look, it's those 660 days are behind me now, and yeah, just thankful to be back on the pitch again, and you know, hopefully can kick on for the rest of the season. Yeah, quite an emotional moment for me. Yeah, I'm just very happy to kind of be back here and back on the pitch and playing again. Yeah. the endless ice in my fridge for the constant game readying that I have to do. I don't want to even know how much money I've spent on ice in the last 20 months. Genuinely.
That's for your legs, isn't it? The game changer. Is that what you just like? You got to sit there laying in it, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, like it ices and compresses at the same time.
Does it?
Yeah. It is a very good machine, to be honest.
How much ice do you reckon like you have to use just for one usage of it?
Like 2/3 of a bag, but like, the prices have gone. Actually, the prices went down in Tesco. They'd gone up to £1.25 for a kilo.
Yeah.
But actually, they've gone back down to £1.20 recently, which is good news.
Every little helps.
So sad that I've been keeping up to tabs with Tesco's ice prices, which is utterly absurd. What did I do with this? I might never save that enough milk. Apple juice as well.
What flavour's that?
Strawberry.
Is that your go-to every time, or do you try?
It's my go-to every time because I like it with the mixed berries. I don't think vanilla or anything like that would go with the mixed berries, to be honest. Creatine, a supplement that every single person in this planet should be taking.
Would you find the usage of it?
Cognitive function, improving my cognitive function. Water retention. I mean, we can read the back of it if you want. Oh, it's not going to tell us. That's a shame. I mean, it's great for training and stuff. Obviously, like it helps our body recover. It like stores water in the muscles. If you want to get massive. I'm not like a huffy gym bro. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a super supplement, to be honest. That not just like professional athletes should be taking, but like all human beings. But you should have asked Nathan Redmond about that. He knows more. He knows more about that than me.
And how many grams of protein? How many grams of creatine do you have?
A day, 15. I have 15 a day. A little bit of apple juice. Frozen days.
How many do you have these a day? Is it just the one?
Well, it's actually more so on days off, to be totally honest with you. Because obviously we get shakes and stuff at the training ground, but like they're actually just like they're so tasty in the summer anyway that I make them in the summer. But yeah, always on a Thursday and always on a Sunday, just to make sure, just in case I'm not like maybe eating as much as I would normally would at training plus dinner and stuff. Yeah. And then, we got one of these things. Whoopsies. Forgot about that.
I was like, yogurt's curdled, isn't it?
I know, I was like, what stick that there just now. So I only bought that 3 hours ago. And then some honey to finish.
Where'd you get this recipe from? Is it just from the club, or you made it yourself?
Sam Wardrobe, actually, who is a guy I used to play. Oh, I need to use raw honey for this. I've got raw honey in my cupboard as well. There we go. Yeah, a guy I used to play football at Celtic with, who has done really well for himself. He's basically become like he had a professional career. He went to Dundee United, played at Dunfermline for a bit, and then kind of packed it in, and then during COVID, just started, he basically set up something called the Players Program, where he individually coaches like young guys or like guys maybe not for clubs and stuff like that. But he marketed himself really well. He's done like, you know, he's kind of like, he did a return to football after 2 years out, where he sort of like went to Dubai to train. He signed for a Swedish club in the third tier, and he's just really good at making content. Plus, he's had the player program thing going for quite a while as well. I mean, like BBC Scotland were interviewing him, and like he's done amazingly well. But anyway, long story short, that's where this recipe comes from. Is that guy? But yeah. Oh yeah. Try some of that.
Is it good?
Oh.
Out of 10?
11. My old number.
Yeah.
And my lucky number.
Nice.
Yeah, it gets better every time I make it, honestly. Yeah. I broke 2 globes. I took the nice globe from back home from Christmas. That broke. As I was changing it, like just like broke. So I then bought another one, and then that one's, honestly,
Can't write it.
I can't, no, you can write it, man. All I want is a really cute, lighty up globe. Where do you want me?
Yeah, if you can.
I don't know, I'll put myself like here, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then you get to see all my favourite board games as well.
Yeah. What's your favourite one there, out of all of them?
Oh, Catan by a country mile. Yeah.
I can't lie, I don't think I've ever played that.
Catan is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty thick book. It's 630 pages. It's basically about a very small class of classics students in a university up in Vermont who, I don't want to give too much away, but basically, get up to some like pretty strange culty stuff. I mean, I'm almost on page 400, and I'd like, it's a real slow burner. But yeah, there's death involved. It's like creepy, haunting college drama.
Yeah.
Which isn't that doesn't sell it, but like it's a fantastic book, genuinely.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah.
Secret History by Donatar, yeah. It was given to me by my friend who I live with, Denisa. She absolutely loved it, and I'll be honest, I've, other than a 2-week hiatus for some reason, I've been flying through it as well, to be honest. It's great. Yeah. So, you can be quiet now, and I'm going to keep reading. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
March the 4th, 2023, we draw 1-1 with Swindon.
Archibald skips past the challenge of McEachran, takes it towards the edge of the Swindon town penalty area. Swindon clear. Turns and tries to pick up the loose ball. Williams takes it away from Craig Clay.
I just slightly overran the ball, and George McEachran's kind of come in from the side slightly, and I've gone down in quite a lot of pain.
Did you see what happened?
I think it was just the challenge from McEachran when Archibald tried to release the ball. Swindon player tracking back, may have just caught Theo Archibald. I think nothing too serious.
Not really sure what I've done, but like I get up and start trying to run and I can't actually run properly.
Can he continue? He's got to go off. So Theo then.
And so I get taken off.
He makes a change, he gets a warm reception.
And yeah, get an MRI scan on Monday and Keats gives me the worst possible news. He says, Theo, you've sort of, you've damaged some meniscus and the big one is that you've torn your ACL. I know what that means, it's 9 months out of football. I've just been battling for 2 years to get into League One again. We're about to win the title and I'm going to miss 9 months. How has this happened to me? My head was completely scrambled at that point. I suppose everyone in the medical department looked at like all of my medical records and realised that actually I don't have a functioning ACL in my knee. So then that posed the question of, what do you want to do, Theo? To which my answer was, well, I'm not missing 9 months of football. We're about to get promoted. Like, I'm not missing my first season in League One for the club that I actually love playing for, and it's not even up for debate at all. So the injury took, I think, probably like 7 weeks to heal, and I got back on the pitch for the Stockport game where we, you know, that special day where we lifted with the choir and everything like that.
Please welcome the teams to the pitch. Stockport County, you're the champions.
And then I got on the pitch again at Bradford. However, I suppose that the best way to imagine it is as a vacuum, and once a vacuum has been unsealed, my knee, playing without any ACL, without any issues, has now been unsealed, and now I have damage to some cartilage, a slight osteochondral defect, and some meniscal changes. I suppose I don't know how many games I played in our League One campaign, 30 odd. I would take strong painkillers before the game. It was sort of during the week managing it and stuff like that. Like, there was discomfort. I was getting Ostinol injections maybe monthly. I was getting my knee drained because of the swelling that was starting to grow in the knee. Day before a game and day of a game, I would be taking Archibald, like quite strong painkillers. And to tell you the God's honest truth, like, I felt absolutely sweet in games. It was more kind of the days after, so like Sunday and Monday, you know, Monday training, I would probably take it quite light. There was a little bit of like kind of like slight clicking and sort of things, but I was like, it's so manageable. Like, you know, I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's just because of who I am. I'm not scared of playing with pain. I mean, I hear Roy Keane talk, and like I hear these guys, and I'm like, no one ever plays 100% feeling perfect. Like, that's not what it is. We're playing high level professional sport. You're gonna get knocks, you're gonna get kicks. It's like, if I need to get my knee injected every so often with Ostinol because like the arthritis and it like helps smooth it out and it won't feel as stiff, so be it. If I need to get it drained, like, cool, stick a needle in my knee every 6 weeks and suck out whatever you need to suck out. I'll take 2 days break and then I'll play. All I want to do is play, you know, and I'm playing well. I was really grooving, like at wing back. I felt like I was really growing into the role. I don't know the exact date of the Port Vale game, but we win 1-0. Idris scores. 10 minutes before the end of the game, there was no one around me, and I turned and I just had like another like sharp pain similar to that of Swindon. At this time I'd sort of damaged more of my lateral meniscus, bigger osteochondral defect now on that side, and chipped quite a lot of cartilage. At which point I had a sit down with Sam Church, who's now a retired surgeon, but he was Andy Williams' sort of understudy. Andy Williams being the sort of the main dog, the guy who's done all the Premier League guys for 20 odd years. He basically sat me down and he said, look, Theo, what you've done is, I mean, you're a biological anomaly. To have played 100 and something games, 150 games or whatever it is so far without an ACL, I don't know if I've come across another player that's ever done that before, but this vacuum has been unsealed. You obviously went with the option of sort of just like injection therapy and playing. You managed 10 months until your next pivot shift, but you know, you're going to need to wait 2 months for this to recover, and then your next pivot shift might only be in 6 months' time, and it's going to be a snowball effect, damaging your knee to the point where you have no cartilage left, and therefore you're fully arthritic and you won't be able to actually play football again, which is obviously not what you want to hear when your contract's running out and you're having the best season you've had. Yeah, that scared me, to be honest. I thought, I mean, I would have just turned 20. I was between the ages of 24 and 25 because it's always around my birthday. My birthday's March the 5th. This keeps happening on my effing birthday. Yeah, happy birthday to me if you remember that Instagram post. It was a simple enough operation. Took a, basically they cut you open here, so mini scar here. I'm not sure if the camera can see that, but mini scar there. They go in, they take some of your hamstring, and that gets harvested into the anterior cruciate ligament. And then I had lateral tenodesis, which is quite a new medical procedure, which just helps re-rupture rates lower. It's almost, imagine it in simplified terms as maybe like an artificial fourth ligament. They basically take strips of your IT band, the thing that runs up the side of your thigh, and they sort of attach that round and connect it to the back of the new ACL, just as like an extra preventative measure to stop re-rupture. Yeah, I was willing to just take the challenge head on. I was like, do you know what, it's only it's 9 months. I mean, but that was by the by. I'd said like, well, look, this has happened, and let's just absolutely crack on with it, and I did. I start running on our pre-season tour to Marbella. That was the first time I went on the grass, so that's only 4.5 months post-operation from March 5th. As soon as I was out in the grass, the swelling diminished and everything was smooth. So it didn't take me long to build up fitness, and I felt great. 6.5 months into rehab, I'm now doing like a crossing drill. They just kept going in, and it's like, obviously like crossing, like ball crossing is one of my big attributes, and I was just like, oh my God, I've not lost a thing here. I've not done this in 6 months, and every single thing's going in. I did a gym session afterwards, felt a little bit sore in the gym session, but it was quite a tough session outside anyway. I had sprints and stuff afterwards as well. 4 or 5 hours between 2 o'clock when my session finished and 7 o'clock. My knee had ballooned up a lot larger than what it had done in the sort of times where I was getting it drained. And I think they took something about like 110 millilitres of fluid out of the knee, which, I mean, it's a lot of fluid. Within 48 hours, the knee had then puffed back up, and they took another like 60 ml of fluid out again, which was a cause for concern, but like still in my head, because like I was still functioning, like I could do everything. It felt marginally different to what it did before, but it's so hard to compare because you're working with a new knee anyway, and it doesn't feel right in the first place. So like, it's just so hard to tell. So I was continuing with my rehab for I think 10 days until we decided to actually get an MRI scan. That was when Martin and Keaton brought the news to me that the graft had completely re-ruptured, and yeah, that was I don't know how to describe like that initial feeling. I mean, it's like the sort of shock and the refusal to accept it. And yeah, I went over to some of my friends' houses in the evening and had like, you know, just crying my eyes out, to be honest. It was a really, 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 really tough moment, and actually just a tough 2 days. But then actually, I suppose again, I think my attitude through all of this has kind of been like, you can mope about it, and like you can just say, oh, like, why has this happened to me, and feel sorry for yourself and pity yourself, or you can be like, look, the reality is this has happened, so like, let's just go and attack it and do it again and do it even better next time. Fast forward to November 21st, we decide to go with Andy Williams. Andy Williams thinks he can do it all in one go, and he's going to do everything. He says, look, this is last chance saloon for you and your knee. You know, you've got an osteochondral defect, because you've obviously played without an ACL, so you've got damaged meniscus. I'm going to tidy that up. I'm going to shave down all the jaggedy bits of cartilage to make that as smooth as possible. I'm going to give you a meniscal root repair. He gave me meniscal root repair on the lateral side and a medial just meniscal repair on the inside. And a huge lateral tenodesis this time, so a much bigger scar up the left side of my thigh. But the main difference was, instead of taking a hamstring graft, which I found to be, I had no issues with my hamstrings and stuff at all coming back, he took a patella tendon graft. So they essentially cut you open in the middle of your knee, and you've obviously got the patella tendon which connects down in there like that, but they take strips out of the middle of that. Here we are filming at the moment, nearly 11 months, 10 and a half months after my surgery, and I have quite extensive prep work I need to do for my tendon specifically, but that's just, skipping into the future. So the surgery is a success, but it's a hell of a lot more of an invasive, obviously. I'm not allowed to walk for 3 weeks, weight bear whatsoever. So I go back to Glasgow. My dad comes down and we get the train and stuff back up. The pain in the first sort of week to 2 weeks of when you wake up in the morning and you're trying to, it's horrible, to be honest. You're not quite bed bound, but you're going down the stairs on your bum. My mum's putting my socks on for me, which I think she loved, actually. To be honest, she had her boy back for a while. We actually had a really sweet time, to be honest. I ended up spending close to 6 weeks in Glasgow. It was my first Christmas at home for 9 years. Get back to London on the train, which was a right faff, and the ScotRail staff were really not very pleasant with us. To be honest, we're trying to get a buggy, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't book a buggy, pal, so what do you want to do?" I was like, "What do you want me to do? I'm going to go on my crutches with all my stuff, my game ready machine and all the rest of it, whatever." ScotRail staff, yeah, honestly, worst nail network in Europe, I'm telling you. Go and see Dr. Williams, and he takes all the plasters off, and I was like, "Oh my, look at my leg. Look at my leg." I mean, there was just obviously just blood, like really thick scabs. They have to take all the stitches and stuff out. I mean, it's it's a bit of an ordeal, to be honest. Looked pretty gruesome, to say the least, to be honest. Saw some family at Christmas that I hadn't seen for 4 or 5 years, like my cousins and those kind of people, which was, I suppose, quite nice. Under rubbish circumstances like I was in, I think you have to take every silver lining you can get, to be honest, in a Christmas at home, and real time to bond with. My dad was playing quite a lot of gigs at the time, so I didn't see him much through December. But my mum and I really got to bond closely again for the first time, sharing quite a lot of music with each other, and just quite, I don't know, I'm her only child, so quite a lot of nice intimate moments with her, so it was sweet. And then, yeah, back to London, January 3rd, rehab starts again. January, February, no one's doing anything. And I'm just back stuck in the gym again, just doing the same stuff that I've just done. I mean, I think most fans know that I play with my heart on my sleeve, and that also translates to everything that I do off the pitch. Especially when it came to the rehab, I was like, I'm not cutting corners, I'll do every single rep of every single set. And that's just the way I'm built, the way I sort of saw the rehab. I was like, I can't cut any corners here, this is my last chance to learn. January to March time were probably my most depressing months, I think, to be honest. Yeah, sort of was, distracting myself however I could, I was feeling pretty anxious about a lot of things, and therefore just kind of relying on silly things to cure, just sort of feel less anxious, which in the long run's not the way to do it. You should attack it head on. But I did sort of have kind of moments in that period that were quite dark times, really, to be honest. Not that dark, I was still focused on the rehab, but it's when you come away from the rehab and it's just kind of just stuck in this room. Callum and Sam are at work. Your mind left to your own thoughts, left to your own devices, so you end up sort of needing to find a way to distract yourself. But obviously I have good friends around me as well, which are distracting, but it's January and February time, and it's not the time where everyone's hanging out in the parks and doing fun things. People are kind of shut off from the world, and I was shutting myself off from the world, I think, a little bit as well. And then probably the toughest moment of the year Happens when my childhood best friend dies in March. No, I'm alright. Yeah. Sorry. Oh. No, I can continue, but yeah. Yeah, obviously being an only child, you know, you need someone to like go on a family holiday with and whatever. And there was this guy who didn't go to my school, but lived just like, don't know, a few hundred yards down the road. And yeah, we met playing football. And became best friends pretty much immediately. Fraser Purvis is his name, and was my absolute, like, he was like the brother that I never had, really, to be honest. Did everything together, 10, 12 family holidays, I don't know, like, just hung out together every available opportunity from the ages of like 7 through to the point where I obviously left London, to be honest. I mean, that guy, yeah, like, he was just, I don't know, he was like my older brother, to be honest. And yeah, I got a phone call from my mum and dad I actually saw him a week before as well, because my birthday's obviously in March, so I couldn't go up that weekend, but I went up the weekend after, and I saw him. We went to David Lloyd together, because he's not, when I go back up to Glasgow, I see my parents sometimes, so they come down here. It's my priority's friends, and he's not really part of, he's not really part of my school friendship group as such. So like, I'd always try and, you know, make an effort to see him when I could. Anyway, Sunday was always quite a good time where I could see Fraser. We obviously had a love for football. He was a great footballer, pre-under 10, so from like under 8s to under 10s, was in the Celtic camps with me. He then signed for Hamilton. He played Hamilton Pro Youth for 5 or 6 years. He beat me in every single cross-country race, every single Glasgow Schools cross-country race that we ran. Yeah, we would just like take the absolute PISSS. No, there's 3 S's. The PIS. Well, yeah, maybe we're doing it so PISSS that yeah, we just take the mickey out of everyone on the football pitch and stuff, and we just had, I don't know, the best holidays ever. My mum gave me a call, and yeah, she didn't really know how to say it, but she said that a week after I'd seen him, he'd had an accidental drug overdose, and she said basically that Fraser's dead at this point. She found out the news pretty quickly because they lived so close by. That was the biggest stab in the heart I've ever felt in my life. Didn't even really know how to take it in, I've got no idea. And yeah, I don't know, we're 27 years old, we're too young to be losing people like this. And yeah, that was just, don't know, that it kind of put everything in a little bit of perspective with my knee, I suppose. And yeah, I don't know, I mean, when I'm back, because he never made it to being a professional football player. It was both of our dreams, but he never made it. I did. He's gone, and I suppose I think I probably owe it to him more than just about anyone else to like never give up. Do you know what I mean? And I'm so sad that he's gone, but I can use him as motivation as well, you know. And it's strange because, like, yeah, went up for the funeral, obviously, coffin bearer. Said goodbye to our best friends, and said goodbye to our best friend, and I don't know, then the sort of dust settles in, you don't think about it for a while. And then, I don't know, it's just little triggers, like, I might not think about Fraser for a fortnight. I was questioning, like, even sort of like pre-death and like before the funeral, there'd be sort of days where it just kind of passed me by. Like, once the initial shock had gone, I was kind of like, God, like, why am I not like absolutely torn up about this? But it doesn't, I don't know, grief doesn't really seem to work like that. It seems to kind of come in little phases, and well, like you can see, this is obviously like touched a nerve. We actually need to start talking about it, but yeah. Enough of the morbid stuff, please, because that's, yeah. I mean, it means that, well, yeah. It's the truth. It's been the story. That's been the story of my 2025, really, and the story of the last 20 months. So, but you know, I've always heard that, you know, when something bad happens to you, they happen in threes. And I've had 2 ACL reconstructions, and the brother that I never had lost his life. So I'd like to think that that's the end of the stuff that I've gone through, and hopefully it's onwards and upwards from here. So yeah, yeah, we buried him on, we didn't bury him, we cremated him on April 12th, and yeah, got some tattoos that, well, I mean, you can probably see him suddenly quite inked up, to be honest. Yeah, I think the fans would be like, because they've not even seen, well, it's been that long. Obviously I had the hair transplant, and there's 7 months in, and then didn't really play, so I always had short hair. And new arms, new chest, new whatever that is. They're gonna be like, who is this guy? He's not number 11 anymore, you know, he's number whatever I'm gonna be, maybe, I don't know. That was obviously a really tough time, and kind of fell back into the sort of hole I was in, I suppose, a little bit. In January and February again, when I'd kind of come out of it, and I'd spoken to friends, and they were like, look, get yourself together a little bit. And I had done, and then Fraser obviously passed, and I was like, God, I need a distraction from this, because this is kind of driving me crazy. But Jordan and I went away to the campus, had a really good week in the campus. I think it was like the 31st of March, I texted Keaton, and I sent him a photograph of, like, because I hadn't had any of this tendon pain before in the first 4 months of the rehab, and I texted Keaton saying, I've got like this just like issue here. And so that's sort of been the main issue. I wouldn't say issue, but it's been the biggest gripe of this rehab compared to the last one. The last one was honestly as smooth as butter. It was like just kind of, other than the little bits of swelling and whatnot, like it was like I had no pain in the knee was like, you know, it was flying. Whereas this time it's been like, you know, I had to basically take some time off, like, because the tendon was just too uncomfortable. I had to get on a sort of 16-week tendon specific loading program to get used to it and stuff. So like, it's just taken longer, and yeah, since the swelling actually sort of calmed down in February, March time, it stayed the same, and that's gone from, you know, just the heavy gym work to the plyometric work, in other words, jumping and then hopping and stuff. The tendon reacted to it, but like there was no swelling, and the swelling stayed good when I got out on the grass, started doing change of direction work out on the grass, and I think that's a really positive sign. We are in a extremely good place, I think, now, to be totally honest with you. We really are. Once I was back out on the grass, you know, I mean, you obviously filmed it that day. I mean, I was just like, I couldn't wipe the smile off my face, to be honest. Get football boots back on again.
Mr. Archibald, back on the grass.
8 months later. Goal. I hadn't been to the stage before where I was finally like warming up with the team and like playing boxes again, and that's been kind of going on in the last few weeks, and like 4 or 5 full training sessions with the team, including 11v11 and, you know, like everything, shooting drills, the lot. And yeah, you know, it's been a long old road. It's been a horrendous 20 months. It's been the most difficult 20 months of my life. Like, I can't deny that at all. There's been, I think I've been headstrong, and I think if you speak to most people at the club, if you speak to Nathan, I think they'll say, like, thrown strops, and I've got on with my work, and that's sort of my foundations. But like, it's away from that is where you struggle a little bit more. And obviously I'm hugely grateful to the football club for allowing me to continue to rehab, use the facilities, not just that, but like actually have a full focus on me and have plans for me and stuff. And they do have a duty of care for me, like I got injured putting my body online for the football club, so I do get that there's a to and froing there, but not every football club does that. So I mean, I don't want to speak too soon because I've not actually made my return or anything yet, but I owe a lot to a lot of people at the football club. In particular Nathan Redmond, obviously, because he's worked with me every single day. He's taught me a lot. He's made me faster. He's made me stronger than I was pre-injury, which to me at the time, after back-to-back ACL reconstructions, you wouldn't really think is possible, but it is. If this goes out to young players, obviously we've got young Ed right now who tore his ACL 7 or 8 weeks ago. I can be an example to him, and I want to be an example to him. I hold so much more responsibility now, having gone through this, I think, not only with my age. I mean, like, I've come from being a sort of like 24, 25-year-old player where you're still regarded as youngish, whereas now I'm one of the more mature players in the squad, but like that gets heightened when you miss so much of your football. The level of appreciation I think you have for what you get to do for a living, I can't actually really explain it, but like when it gets taken away from you, and that feeling of like, well, what am I if I'm not a football player or whatever? I mean, like, my God, how lucky I was to be able to do what I love for a living. Cross the white line every day and play in the fans and stuff. Like the day I step back on the football pitch, like there won't be a moment that I won't, I'll appreciate it so much more greatly, and respect how privileged we really are as football players to get to do what we do. And so, although it's been difficult and turbulent, and there's been highs and lows, I think there's also been, a lot of positive things can come out from, dark times. I think without them, how do you grow? How do you develop as a human being? I suppose in a way I'm thankful for it. It sounds strange. I would rather it didn't happen, but it did happen. So like, as I said at the beginning, like, mope around and feel sorry for yourself and all that crap, but like, or just actually be like, do you know what, this has happened to me, so like, let's make the absolute best out of it. How can I use this positively to impact not only myself but everyone else around me? Not sure if I'm allowed to say it on camera. Well, actually I probably am now, but obviously, like, we've had another ACL reconstruction. Reg. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I was allowed to say it on camera, but like, broke my heart. I saw it on Saturday. Was worried, obviously sent him a voice message on Sunday. But like, now he's got me, who's gone through back to back, and like, I'll be with him every single step of the way. Like, do you know what I mean? I can empathise with it, whereas when you've not gone through something like this, you just can't. And so like, I think I'm appreciative of the fact of what I've gone through in this journey, because now I can help other people. I can be, like a real, like a rock for someone when they need it, because Jordan was a rock for me in my first one when I needed it. And you need that, and footballs are part and parcel of injuries. And so, yeah, to the next chapter. I don't know, I kind of see it as I guess I see it as a reset. Although to be fair, I did think I was going to be like, wow, I'm going to be so much more calm and etc. But I've been training now, and I can feel myself, like, as soon as get so frustrated still, like, because I'm rusty and whatever. But actually, like, I do think I'll be a hell of a lot more calm on the football pitch. I just have an appreciation of what I get to do for a living that I never had before. and you know, I think in time I'll look back on this as actually one of the most important 20 months of my life. I'm just not quite through it yet, but like the light is growing stronger at the end of the tunnel, and we're really not far away yet, you know. So I guess we'll wrap it up by saying I hope to see all of you guys at Brisbane Road when I cross the white lines for the first time again with any luck. Yeah.
Causing problems for Naismith. He's got Barlow on the one with the goalkeeper. Spread to Theo! Theo Archibald is back, and back amongst the goals. Leighton have taken the lead, and it's Theo Archibald with the strike.
You know, I'll appreciate it so much more greatly, and you know, respect how privileged we really are as football players to get to do what we do. Hugely grateful to the football club